However, this Mayo team can also improve, and I think more from Lee Keegan and Aidan O'Shea, and they'll be right at it.
It's Mayo's 27th championship replay. They've won 15 of the previous 26. Where Kerry's concerned, they have a pretty good record as well in replays. This is their 36th ever, and they've won 24 of the previous 35. What's going to happen today? All will be revealed over the next 70 minutes. Once again, a thunderous atmosphere. Time to resolve the issue once and for all. Which of these teams will make the final in 3 weeks' time? It's Kerry versus Mayo Mark II, a match being handled by David Goff, 33-year-old official from County Meath. Refereed last year's semi-final between Kerry and Dublin as well. And this year's Connaught final also for Eamon Fitzmaurice. Well, hoping that history will repeat itself. In 2014, the semi-final replay over Mayo was the launching pad for the All-Ireland success. But of course, you may be certain that Stephen Rochford has other ideas as they go through their final little routine here, just to try and get as sharp as possible, ready to face what Kerry can offer today. And it's fascinating, Desi, from the word go here. The lads have been talking about it in the studio. Kerry with 7 backs and really 5 forwards. Yeah,
well, when two heavyweights come together, I think tactically both managers are going to be analysed to death, and I think it's interesting to see Kerry going out with 7 defenders is very unusual. Up to the Munster Championship, there'll be very little change in that Kerry defence, but today you see a lot of change. It's unusual for Eamon Fitzmaurice.
We got a little glimpse there of James O'Donoghue. He hasn't been himself. There's an injury problem there, I'm quite certain. David Moreland still wearing the badge of honour, as it were, that bandage from last Sunday, and the wound still needing some care. Tom Parsons back into the middle of the field. He will go alongside Seamus O'Shea. Elsewhere, we'll just have a little look around to see where they're all going to go to. I see Aidan O'Shea wandering away down towards centre forward, where he's been picked up by Peter Crowley. In fact, it's changed around, and Aidan has gone to the middle of the field.
It's just interesting, Ger, all over the pitch. There's a lot of physical battles going on.
Battle is the right word for it. Match gets underway, and it's caught by Aidan O'Shea. The man of the moment for so many people. Won that free as he was fouled by Jack Barry. A couple of players still trying to reprise what might be happening in Las Vegas later on, but it'll be in the boxing ring there rather than wrestling. Picking himself up there, Tyke Morley at the end of all of that. So early indications the referee could have a busy afternoon.
Yeah, well, as I looked out for the throw up, all over the pitch there was battles going on. So there's early intent that this is going to be a tight and physical battle.
It'll be Aidan O'Shea who will take it. Ball comes bouncing back here towards Tom Parsons once again. Challenge there by Killian Young. Breaks back as far as Keith Higgins. Leaving it off as far as Seamus O'Shea. Started inside, has moved back out. Now gives it to his younger brother. And Aidan sets off. No hint of a full back this afternoon position for him anyway. Gives it into Lee Keegan. Anonymous the last day, looking for a bright start here. Hasn't got it.
Advantage rule, he's coming back for the free, Ger. But interesting to see, that was Aidan O'Shea setting up that play. Donald Vaughan has gone back so far on Kieran Donaghy.
Well, that's what we might have expected some 6 days ago. Donald Vaughan has limited experience, really, of playing at full-back. The referee has made his call back the play. Free to Mayo, a chance for them to pop over the opening point of the match. You might recall that Killian O'Connor hit his first free from roughly the same position last Sunday against the right-hand upright, came bouncing back into play. Well, he's making a bit of an angle for himself. There's still some wrestling going on off the ball, I can tell you.
Tom Parsons and Jack Barry getting very physical around midfield.
Meanwhile, O'Connor hits, and Cillian O'Connor raises the first white flag. Good start inside the opening 2 minutes. Statement of intent on the part of Mayo. Kick out by Brian Kelly. It was towards Jack Barry. It's fielded very, very well indeed by Seamus O'Shea. Out as far as Keith Higgins, this one. Plenty of space in which to manoeuvre. Bit of running here on the part of Diarmuid O'Connor. There were suggestions his position in the starting 15 might have been in some jeopardy. Higgins back in as far as Lee Keegan once again. Keegan, by the way, being picked up by Johnny Buckley as of right now. Kerry on a man-to-man, and it's Paul Murphy who's the extra player back there, but he's left it to Andy Moran this time, and Andy Moran has hit that one to the left of the post. That's an interesting decision on the part of the Kerry management to play Paul Murphy, I think, as the spare player at the back.
Yeah, well, that full back line were very exposed, and you see Andy Moran's running power again.
It's a horrible kick out, and Kerry got away with it, sorry.
Yeah, no, Andy Moran's running power, he had a great opportunity there. He'd be disappointed he missed it, but certainly out in front and showing strong again.
Showing strongly here is Donncha Walsh. Back to challenge him vigorously as Colin Boyle. And the referee says a little bit too vigorously. Free to Kerry. David Moran's going to try and launch the first attack towards Kieran Donaghy. Lets it bounce this time. Shadowing him, Donny Vaughan. That's played beautifully forward here. And there's an opportunity to kick this one in and over the bar. Good shot. Really good opening point there. Scored by Jonathan Lyne. Remember the 2 points he scored in Limerick back in 2014. That's a very good start for him.
And that ball came, a long ball in there from David Moran, and Kieran Donaghy's marking Donal Vaughan, but a great awareness again from Kieran Donaghy.
Right now, Paul Murphy, who had been the free man, now he is once again. Jonathan Lyne has gone back to pick up Diarmuid O'Connor. Picking up possession is Seamus O'Shea. Out as far as Brendan Harrison to start this next attack involving Lee Keegan, who kicks long into the corner here. Race for possession, which is won well by the Mayo captain Cillian O'Connor, darting through and past 2 defenders. Gives it out to Brendan Harrison. Never scored in the championship. Back towards Aidan O'Shea it comes. He's very definitely playing as a forward today. Forget about the plan that they tried last week. It was worth a go on that occasion. I'm sure they will feel. This time it's lobbed in there ambitiously, touched away well, and back out it comes towards Morley, and Tyke Morley sets up Donncha Walsh. Had a quick look up. Only one man inside the 45-metre line in a blue shirt of Kerry, and that, of course, is Kieran Donaghy. Johnny Buckley holding on. Now he goes long, but there's a couple of players in front to sweep up, and Keith Higgins is able to take it out as far as Aidan O'Shea. Really good tactical battle, this one. That's a bit high on the part of Peter Crowley.
And sure, since the game has started, it's been physical on both sides. Both sides are getting in. Particularly the Kerry defenders seem to be hurting.
As Donny Vaughan was coming out here, Crowley got a hold of him and gets a yellow card for his troubles. First of the match coming after 5 minutes.
Yeah, the referee's going to have a busy afternoon because there's definitely increased physicality in this game so far.
So the first yellow card of the match issued by the referee David Goff. And I think it deserved a yellow card as well. There's no question about that. Donny Vaughan is okay. Aidan O'Shea. All the way it bounces down there. There are extra players. Jonathan Lyne's about. And the referee saw the restraining, and it's going to be another free in. And Kerry can't afford to be ill-disciplined like this.
Yeah, but Mayo are exploiting it again. Paul Murphy is sitting, as you said, Paul Murphy is sitting constantly back in defence, but there's a lot of early long ball going in by him, and Andy Moran is getting out in front.
So the referee just bringing Cillian O'Connor forward onto the 13-metre line, a chance to pop over another one here. His second chance to score in this semi-final replay. Easiest one of the day he's likely to get, I would imagine. And Mayo go back into the lead once again by 2 points to 1.
Yeah, and a lot of pressure being put on by the Mayo forwards on Brian Kelly's kick out after last week.
So first yellow card of the match, picked up by Peter Crowley. Into the middle of the field it comes once again. Donegal Walt chasing for it, but it's Colin Boyle who's won it. He was held, fouled. Referee gives the free kick to Mayo. Boyle decides to go backwards, and they try to move forward here through Aidan O'Shea. The other number 11, Johnny Buckley, pulling him back. Again, another free kick. Too many free kicks already, and only 7 minutes are gone. Keith Higgins. Into a stride is Lee Keegan here. Thought about kicking it, gives it off to Andy Moore, and instead steadies himself, looking to put one over the bar, and he's done so. First chance he's got.
Yeah, and the effect of Paul Murphy going back in is Keith Higgins is left free. He passed the ball to Lee Keegan, so they're under pressure again in that defence.
And under pressure from the short kick out immediately. Paul Murphy had picked it up from Brian Kelly's kick. But there's nothing settled yet about that Kerry defence. They're still coming to terms, I think, with the challenge presented by Mayo and the whole composition of the 7 defenders back there, who everybody's marking, what they're doing and so on.
Yeah, well, Paul Murphy took a definite role last week in marking Lee Keegan. That leaves Keith Higgins free today. I don't know if it's a good idea to leave Keith Higgins free on his half-back line.
Jack Barry starting this one with David Moran, hauled down by Tom Parsons. In as far as Donaghy it goes, back towards Moran once again. Made that great run in the draw match last Sunday that resulted in a second Kerry goal. Again, Aidan O'Shea challenges Donaghy. Down goes big Donaghy. They've got to know one another pretty well in this tie.
Yeah, and I have to say, Kieran Donaghy used all his know-how there. He worked the free very well.
Pretty dramatic fall on his part.
For such a big man, he went down soft enough in that instance.
Referee has issued another yellow card, and it's to Aidan O'Shea now. So a yellow card per team. David Goff, for me, the referee, laying down the law pretty clearly to these teams. It'll be Paul Gainey who will hit this. Again, a very simple free kick for a player of his standards. This to put just one between them. Bit of a hit and miss match so far, but that's his first. 3-2. Mayo still leading.
Yeah, and that's something Mayo need to work on from last week. They gave away 5 frees in the first half, kept Kerry in the game when they were very much on top.
David Clarke's kickouts, when you study them afterwards, they were very, very interesting. The long ones didn't produce an awful lot, but if you study the short kickouts that he had, there were about 13 of them that were successful, and they resulted in a goal and 6 points coming from them. So there's no doubt they're going to persist with that tactic again today. Aidan O'Shea again dragged back. No attempt to play any bit of football there. Paul Gainey was doing the dragging. Back to Chris Barrett this time. Has a quick look around and then has a player loose and free. That's Diarmuid O'Connor. Back out as far as Barrett once again. Goes long for it to Jason Doherty. Had some great moments in the draw match. Lee Keegan, much more influential this time around towards Andy Moran, well read by Shane Enright, needs a good game. Paul Murphy, back out it comes towards Jonathan Lyne, and Kerry can move swiftly into the attack once again. Jack Barry, the UCD student, leaves that one behind, almost stolen by Tom Parsons, but he does well. And Barry from the Guile Club in Tralee, in here as far as Johnny Buckley, again falling to ground, back out as far as Gainey has a kick at it and puts this one over the bar. And the teams are level.
Yeah, great score by Paul Gainey there. By his standards, a bit quiet last weekend, but that ball was broken down. Andy Moran missed it. Shane Enright got out in front.
There was so much attention, I suppose, up front for Kerry last week on the battle between Donaghy and Aidan O'Shea. To an extent, we saw very little of Gainey or James O'Donoghue. Yes, there's an awful lot of space, Desi, today in that Mayo inside 45, inside their defensive 45, as we can see, just one Kerry player.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is flood that middle section, stop the runners that are so strong for Mayo.
And they might be lulling Mayo into a false sense of security as well, as Kerry come again with Johnny Buckley. patiently waiting, picking his moment, kicking with a bit of style and lots of accuracy. And Kerry lead by 4 points to 3.
Yeah, great composure from Johnny Buckley there.